Here we are live on a Wednesday. Every Wednesday I am doing a mini training about how the spirit guides, the dragons, can actually help you to, well, increase money flow, can help your internal talk, can help with attunements and meditations, can help with embodying your new identity. Hi, Kellen. How they can help you overcome the resistance that you're sitting in, all those kind of blocks that go on, how you can help your guidance come through so that you can start living your guided life, and how you can be in the frequency that's really, really going to help everything work so much better for you. The dragons, if nothing else, when they came through to me, want to help you explore the revolution of how you feel. So it's a revolution of feeling. In other words, when you feel something, you're radiating it. It's a frequency, and that's what I want to particularly explain about today. So the dragons can increase your money flow. That's what we're talking about today. The title of this is Detox on the Emotional Block that's stopping you from your intended money flow. And this can often just come through in the underlying frequency that you seem to be using as a fallback, using as your kind of normal state. So we really want you to be able to change your state, change your frequency, and this is what we're going to be talking about today, and I'm going to be helping you understand exactly how to do that. So being guided myself by the manifesting dragons. Manifesting dragons are the dragons that I then was asked to make and guided into making into these Awaken the Dragon cards that are going on Amazon. Getting a step closer every few days. So this week's training is to really recognize those particular steps that they're asking us to do, change your inner story and change your frequency. So it's all in your frequency, baby. It's all in what you're feeling, how you're portraying yourself in the world, how you're radiating that into the world. So often that is really, really ignored. You think by writing a particular post or saying something out loud or doing something that you've got it done. Why doesn't anybody like what I'm saying? Why doesn't anybody see what I'm saying? Why doesn't anybody? Because your frequency is in often this kind of low vibrational soup of feeling comfortable of where you've always been. So when we talk about your frequency, the dragons mean, what's the frequency of you playing 10 out of 10? What's your frequency of playing at your fullest, your real potential? What's your mission on earth? Often the ladies that I love to deal with and meet more and more and more are the ladies and the gentlemen who are on a mission, who have a bigger purpose to fulfill. That's why you're here. And often we're just playing a little bit far too small, and the dragons are going, just pushing you a little bit more, just pushing you a little bit more. Can you see the guidance when you're put up in front of someone, or you see something turning up, or can you see that those little pieces are guidance for you? I'll tell you a story later on of the guidance that I just got the last week. So the dragons have the easiest way for you to radiate out this new state, and I'm going to be sharing 3 of the main ways that I do it and that they show me how to do it. The frequency of wealth, that you're certain of success, you are set to take off the charts, that you're prepared to receive more, you're prepared to receive your worth and what you deserve, all come from your frequency. They're all in how you radiate, how you think about yourself, how you talk about yourself, how you're handling life, how you're handling business, how you're handling your money, how you're managing all of those things. So one of the biggest things that we often have to deal with when it comes to money and flow is we have to deal with some of our emotions. Now, some of the emotions that come up, they have an underlying frequency of feeling unsafe. So that's the only one we're going to work on today, is feeling unsafe. So many people don't even know that they have this going on because you're so used to fighting your corner. You're so used to wanting to feel strong and independent and look at me, I'm doing well. You've put such a fabulous mask on that you don't even admit that you are feeling unsafe in this world. It could be from previous experiences that you've had, that you are resonating in this unsafe frequency, this vibe. You just always have that kind of cautious, vigilant thing about you. It could be from abuse, or a bullying parent, or a bullying partner, or bullied at school. It just sits with you, and it just stays with you for far too long. That frequency is resonating in you, and even if you say, I want this, you have to be able to work on this frequency of feeling unsafe, so that you can raise up and you can match yourself at where you say it is that you want to be. All of us here, you wouldn't be listening otherwise, all of us here know that it's your frequency that has a big impact on whether you attract, call in, receive what it is that you're asking for. We all know that. We all know that it's to do with our vibes and what we're thinking and what we're feeling. But sometimes you don't know what's at the back of your vibes until somebody points it out to you, or your soul, your dragon, points it out to you. And it could be through another accident, it could be through another argument, it could be through something else falling down and not working for you, that you suddenly go, I don't feel safe with this. It's like, now, are you getting the guidance? Are you getting the sign? Or you could be looking at someone else who's telling you how unsafe they feel. And then you'll be thinking, is that guidance? And if you've got your yes and your no sorted out, is that my guidance? And you'll go, no, or is that my yes? That is. Like you decipher whether this is your yes or whether this is your no. And you will have those questions going on all the time in you. Then you start noticing your guidance. Are you feeling safe to earn more? Are you feeling safe to talk to more clients? Are you feeling safe to move to another home? Are you feeling safe to go somewhere that you've never been before? Are you feeling safe to move countries? Are you feeling safe to end or start a new relationship? Are you feeling safe to wear a different outfit? Are you feeling safe to be in front of the camera? Are you feeling safe to talk about your business because it's slightly off the wall and slightly different? You know, so a lot of times we are not feeling safe, but we've not really looked at all the different ways that we don't feel safe sometimes. It could be that you're going to a restaurant. That doesn't make you feel safe. Could be getting in a car with someone else driving. Doesn't make you feel safe. Could be eating a different food. Doesn't make you feel safe. Could be going for a walk with your dog and you think, God, today, why is he acting up the way he's acting up? It could be that something's knocking you from outside. It could be someone else's energy that feels really unsafe, which is making you feel really unsafe, which is making your dog act in a way that makes you feel unsafe. It's all very, very entwined with who you are, but you need to be able to see the signs. Yeah. Well done, Callum, because what happens is, certainly when we have the full moon, hi Andrea, when you have the eclipse, when you have certain things, the full moons are brilliant, by the way, because the full moon highlights whatever's going on. I had it wasn't tempestuous, it wasn't anything awful, it was just, I was feeling, some people say discombobulated or confused, or wasn't really getting to the bits of it. And I was just like, what is going on here? But I'm feeling it, but I couldn't decipher what the feeling was. So you have to be very aware of your body and what you are up against. So some people who cope really, really, really well with the world, they have this sorted out. They feel safe wherever they go, whatever they're doing. They feel safe and supported by the spirit world, or we would say the dragon spirits, because they are here to help you break through these particular patterns. They're like, You're not going anywhere. You're not going to help anyone else out if you've got this vigilant energy going on, if you feel unsafe to carry on doing what you're doing in the world, if you're doing something that your family doesn't understand. They kind of ridicule you. They think it's nonsense. It's a bit woo-woo. They think, oh, you're never going to make any money at that. You know, if they don't understand you, and this is what's in your environment, and it's in your extended environment, and you only find little pockets of places where people really get what you talk about, that can make you feel very, very unsafe. So it's very difficult to put your face in front of that. Hi, Jasmina. Yeah, so some of us have not felt very safe for a very long time. So you can see why I was being brought to bring out this talk to you today about feeling safe. A lot of the ladies in my group, they don't do the work. They don't do the inner work. They don't do what the dragons are suggesting. They don't do the inspired actions that they're given. And I'm like, what's going on? Why hasn't that happened? When I get down to it, I end up asking them, I end up getting guidance to ask them a question. Can I ask you a question? Do you feel safe? When did you last feel safe? What makes you feel safe? How do you respond when you feel safe? And how do you respond when you feel unsafe? There's a lot that goes on if your foundations are not able to hold you in that feeling of feeling safe. So you can go quite easily from feeling, oh, don't feel safe, just do not feel safe one iota. Anything could creep up on me, things could go wrong. You know, like when you expect things to go, oh, you expect to get told off. You expect to have been told that you're doing things wrong. You expect people to say, that's a load of rubbish. You expect people to put you down and you don't feel safe, or say horrible things, or maybe not violent anymore if you've been through a violent relationship or even grown up in a violent house. Maybe it's not violence anymore, but you can can you feel where you feel that in your body? Let me know. Ladies, you're watching. Let me know where you feel that, oh, God, just going to get told off. I'm going to be told I'm doing something wrong. I feel unsafe. I have to keep on the lookout all the time to see whether I feel safe or not. This is so, so, so important. If you're going to be looking at bringing your money up to scratch, you need to feel safe. One, to be talking about what you believe in, what you've been shown, the guidance that you've been given. Solar plexus and stomach area, absolutely. Describe what it feels like, Helen. Describe what it feels like for you. Because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it for you. Andrea, describe it. Jasmina, describe it. Where do you feel it in your body? This feeling of feeling unsafe. Yeah, closed. All right. Concentrate. I'm going to ask you, Andrea, Helen, Jasmina, take part as well, please. What happens to your heartbeat? What happens to your breathing? What happens to your extremities? What happens on the inside of you? Make sure that you're very, 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 very aware of what unsafe feels like. Like someone dropped something really heavy in that area and tightened around it. Okay, yeah, cool. So you've got, like, Helen, I would say you've got like the strangling feeling. So like it's being pushed and crushed and so tell me what your breathing's like. Breathing goes shallow. Well done, Andrea. My heartbeat goes up. Well done. Okay. So really you have to know the frequency of feeling unsafe, because that is a big part of this whole journey to then feeling safe. Speeds up. Imagine that's your heartbeat. Shallow breathing feels like I want to curl up. Yeah, exactly. But I'm feeling it within all of you. So let me just tune in and just feel what's going on in there. It's definitely around the solar plexus and upper belly area. But it's also kind of strangling in your chest and in your throat. And it's a real crushing. I would describe this as suffocating. Unsafe Yeah, so you curl in from yourself from your shoulders. So yeah, I curl in from myself from my solar plexus, and you kind of go concave. So very much back into the fetal position. So when you're feeling unsafe. So I really want you to know what this unsafe feels like. Not to be nasty, but you have to understand, and then you're able to ask, is this mine? Is this coming from my beliefs? Is this coming from my experiences? Is this mine? And then you're able to listen to your yes and your no. So this is one of the main reasons that we have to understand if money is not coming, if things are not working out right for us. It could very be, yeah, huge burden under my chest and throat. Jasmina, I feel it in you like a boulder. Feel into the temperature of it. Feel into the texture, temperature, the weight of it. I'm feeling it very, very exactly. Hedgehog in danger, literally colour. Yeah, well done, good. You know what? You're all getting it. But can you see also when you go into that response, that fight and flight and freeze response, that curling up, that suffocated feeling of like making yourself really, 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 really small, what that's going to do to your business, what that's going to do to your money flow, what that's going to do to your relationships and everything else, because you're holding, I always go this like this, it's holding that at the back somewhere. It's in your reptile brain. Somewhere in the back here, it is switched on and it is super sensitive to anything that makes you feel unsafe. Jasmine, also like Andrea, I want to escape. Okay, but Jasmina, I asked you also the temperature and the weight and the texture of this boulder that you feel, because I'm feeling it particularly with you, that's something that you can describe for other people as well. The frequency has massive consequences on the spiritual way of earning money and being guided to earn money. Before you can earn the money, before you can be guided to where you can go to earn the money, other than letting little bits trickle in. Cold and heavy, absolutely. Cold and heavy, Colin, exactly. Jasmina, just see if you can still feel into that as well. I know you're going through some stuff as well at the moment. So when you have that in your frequency, if you have a frequency in there somewhere of feeling unsafe, let me tell you what happens to your business. Let me tell you what happens to everything else that goes on around you. It responds to that frequency because that's in your foundations. So even if we kind of go, oh, really excited, everything's really, really good, everything's working out really well, there is still that, you still feel it in your solar plexus. There's still that emotional charge. There's one of the five, by the way, one of the five, the big five, like in Africa, when you go and see the big five in Africa, is one of the five big emotions that is going on in your frequency, in your foundations, that stop you from moving forward, that stop you from earning the money, that stop the clients go, oh, I want to work with you, because you haven't overcome that particular level yet. Making you want to burp, so excuse me. All you ladies so far, you know me. You know the way the energy moves through me, and it moves through you the same way. So this is no matter what you say that you want, no matter what words you use. Jasmina, well done. Temperature is cold, texture is huge, heavy, black rock, and although it's a burn, it is also a shield. Shields, well, it's a shield that keeps you where you are. And you're much bigger than that. Burping in the diaphragm. Wow. All right, so let me carry on. So this is the frequency that has massive, massive consequences on your spiritual way of living, your business, your relationships, your health, everything else, because it's operating first and foremost from the lowest the lowest frequency that that you go in. So like if it's unsafe, you can't step a foot in the world if you've got that unsafe feeling going on. It really holds you back. So feeling safe is a very, very prerequisite. Yes, you are bigger than that, Jasmina. So it doesn't come across in your words. Your words can be very, very well articulated. They can be very positive. They can be very dynamic. They can be very charged. It doesn't come across in, you know, what you're posting, your content, or how you're showing up, or how you're looking. But most people are empathic, and they would be able to read what's going on in your frequency. And that's why when I'm in a group with Manifesting with the Dragons and the Dragon Portal, I'm reading into your energy, because that's what we need to uncover. That's what we need to get you past and elevate you through all of that. And it's not just a question. People say, oh, change my state. Okay, I'll change my state. Oh, I'll go from sad to happy. Woohoo! Or I'll go from lack to lucrative. Yay! Celebrate! I've earned a load of money. It's all false. Your frequency is being read by everyone. Everybody can read frequency. Everybody can see it in your face. Everybody can feel it in what you project. So when the dragons talk about it's a revolution of feeling, we need to get into the practice so that we believe what we are radiating, what we want to radiate. And this is what the dragons want to teach you today. So here's how the dragon want to help educate you today. So the frequency that you radiate has to be a frequency that you step into more and more and more and more. You can dig around in that and blame yourself and just say, oh, I don't feel safe. Oh, it's not working for me. Not got any money. And all those kind of stories, which, you know, brings you into the victim, which brings you into the complaining, which, you know, comes from feeling unsafe to go bigger than that, to put your face out there, to do what you came here to do. Do you, by the way, and I want to see a number 1 in the comments, do you, even if you're on replay, do you feel that you're here with a bigger purpose? Do you know that you came here to do something with a much bigger purpose, and by God, you're good at it, but you just haven't been able to make it work yet? There's something in your frequency. So what you're asking for, often what we're asking for, we're saying, oh, God, I can't wait to earn loads of money. Can't wait for this, because you think money's going to be the thing that brings everything into happiness for you. You think money's going to bring it. No, money is an energy. Money is the thing that opens the doors, because when you have it, it opens the door to you investing in you, to you investing in the business that you're here to run, that you're here to come to do as your purpose. And you've all got a purpose. You all came here with a purpose. You are a spiritual woman. You're on the leading edge. You are a band of women across the globe that came here to wake people up, to look at their parts of their lives, whatever niche that you're in a very different spiritual, God-given, dragon-given way. I get so passionate when I talk about all of this. So you might be asking for something, and you might be saying, oh God, yeah, I need more money, I need more clients, I need this, I need that. Like, okay, but where's the intention? What's behind it? What's underneath it? What are you going to do with it when you've got it? Do you feel safe to run that size of business? Do you feel safe to treat those many women? Are you just looking for 5? That's not big enough. That's not your mission, is it, to deal with 5 women or men? Is it that you want to run a group? That's just still feeling too small, Fiona. Yeah, I know. So is it that you want to write a book? Yeah, maybe now you're starting to make an impact. Now you're starting to influence other people. Is it that you want to speak on stage? Now you're cooking with gas. Is it that you want to, make an impact and inspire people in another way? You see, there's a bigger way, but you might go, oh, don't feel safe to do that. I just don't feel safe to do that. And sometimes things can happen very, very quickly. As soon as you decide, that's what I'm here for, that's what I'm going to do, and by hook or by crook, that is absolutely what I'm going to be doing. And when you make the decision, when you decide that you feel safe, when you decide that everything's working out well for you and the energy changes in you, You find your sovereign energy, you find safe, and you feel your value, and you trust your value, and you tell the different inside story, which I shall go into in a minute. You are open to guidance. You are open to that guidance. You will be being given guidance, and you will feel safe to follow that guidance because it's being given to you, and you will absolutely love following it. You'll take the inspired action as it comes through. You will receive guidance toward how you radiate out. So if you're radiating out, I'm on a mission, I've got a mission to complete, I've got things to do, I'm in flow with the money, I'm aligned to what I'm doing, I absolutely love it, I'm excited. I'm excited to go forward and meet all these new people that I've not even met before. Not just 5, not just 10, not just 20, I'm going to make a huge impact. And this is who you start being. You start looking differently, start dressing differently, you start talking and reacting differently. It's like you've just taken on the world, and this is what you're here to do. So, you know, when you've got dragons alongside you, as we all do, you know me, we've been talking about this for a while, and you fall into that particular survival state, and you don't feel safe to do something, and you can't articulate your post, or you can't articulate what you want to do, and you kind of start complaining a little bit. The dragon that's next to you will say, that is such a human response. And it will start giving you the guidance, maybe in auditory ways, maybe in visual ways, maybe in all of the ways, and you'll feel it as well. You kind of go, oh God, I don't feel safe to do this. That's your guidance. What don't I feel safe? How dare I not feel safe to do this? Who am I not to do this? And you talk yourself up. You haven't set it up. You haven't made it a practice for even 10 days, let alone 20 days or 30 days or 40 days, that you're actually in the practice of being able to say, this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm dedicated to, and I commit to this. That is a very, very different way of being. And you're just expecting things like money to come in tomorrow, and you haven't worked towards it. You haven't done any of the work towards it. So many different reasons why you might not feel safe, and we don't need to go into all of those. I'm sure you've all got your own reasons why, somewhere inside you, or in a past life, or there's a reason or an excuse or a story or an event of why you don't feel safe. So many, many reasons on this planet of why we don't feel safe. Now, the dragons help you to feel safe and transcend that particular frequency so that you are the only one who can change the state within you. And you don't take that state on from someone else that's near you. You don't pick it up in the person in the car next to you like, why don't I feel safe? Is it mine? Oh, it's not my energy. Is it someone else's energy? Yes. Oh, right. Well, do I need to know who it's coming from? Yeah, it's interesting for you to know who it's coming from. Okay, is it from you? No. Is it from you? No. Oh, it's you in the car next to me. It's you walking down the street next to me. I'm picking that up. It's like you need to know when you don't feel safe if it's yours or not. You do need to work on it, yes or no. Feeling safe is just a state. You choose what state you go into. And then you ask for guidance to move through that state. So you can see evidence for yourself that you can trust yourself, that you do feel safe, that things do work out for you. Can you see how differently the world works for you when you say, God, nothing works out for me, everything goes wrong, everything's just rubbish at the moment? And go into your feeling in your body, and it's very, very close to that not feeling safe state. And then decide to change that and just kind of go, everything is working out really well for me. I choose to see the flowers in the garden. I choose to see the people that I speak to. I choose to see the clients that I've got. I choose to see the sales that I've done. I choose to know that my car is working. I choose to know that my kids are safe and healthy. I choose. I feel safe. I can cope with this. I coped last week when 5 people tried to spam me because I was selling something in Marketplace. I chose to feel that was a spam. Okay, I can feel safe. I know when somebody's spamming me, therefore I'm feeling safer and safer and safer in this world. I can feel into someone's energy and know that they are they're not good. They're not someone that I want to be hanging around with. So you start to live in a parallel universe. You're still around maybe the same kind of faces, although they will disappear after a while. And you move into this parallel universe where people are kind, people are helpful, you feel safe. You choose it. You choose the state that you're going to go into. I had a client and she came to me and just said, "God, Fiona, nothing is working. Nothing is working whatsoever." She didn't know that she didn't feel safe at the time until I particularly asked her, like, you know, how safe do you feel and how much fun are you having? How much are you enjoying your life? And she's like, "Oh, I'm not really." And actually, no, I don't feel safe. I've still got stories going on in the back of my head about like when this happened and that happened. So she found herself able to get into her safe and sovereign state. Your soul is your sovereign state. She feels safe all the time. It's just the human that doesn't feel safe. So you choose to operate from your sovereign state, knowing that you can wield magic, that you are feeling strong. You're the strongest energy in the room. So feeling safe is the opposite of feeling that fearful, panicked, emergency state. And it can come through you from generations ago. It can come through you from just being surrounded by people who generally don't feel safe. And if you think about it, it's the majority of the population who don't feel safe. So you're not alone in that, but you are going to be one of the ones who knows how to get out of your unsafe mode. So you need to break that spell, not just for yourself, but for the generations that are coming after you. You need to know how to break that particular spell, because it's the way of the new world. We need to know how we operate in this world from a very, very safe and sovereign place. So you don't want to be left making ends meet and just allowing piddly little bits of finances to trickle in and never give you the true enjoyment that fluid funds would actually allow for you. So you need to detox the emotional block, which today we're talking about feeling unsafe, the fear, and what's stopping your intended money flow, because it can't get through. Because maybe you've also never thought about that, like, well, what if I did have heaps and heaps of money? Oh, maybe that makes you feel unsafe. What am I going to do? Will I still love my partner? Will I still be satisfied with that life if I had heaps and heaps of money? So, well, maybe I'll play small and maybe I'll just ask for just enough to cover my bills. You're on a mission. You're on a mission to transform and change people's lives. And you need the money and enable you to build a business and an empire that allows you to do that. So just think about that for a minute. How safe do you feel earning 10 times more? Always go for more than you expect. Now, the dragons want to share with you today 3 little steps that are very powerful, that will help you to hold the frequency that you decide to live in. That feeling of safe. Could be that you want to feel the feeling of opulent and having that as your safe place. Or that, whatever you want to call it. What would that safe place be, by the way, if you are... What is the frequency that you would like to live in that feels safe? So if you say it's to do with your business, that's where my block is. Unsafe to have too much. Well done. All right. Okay, Colin. So all of that needs worked on. But what is the frequency today that you would feel that would be awesome? And I feel safe to have that. So is it just meeting your needs? Is it just paying your bills? Just ask yourselves those questions right now. So in order for you to up level, to bring yourself into that part of the world, bring yourself into your life, to be guided towards that, to feel safe to follow it, you're going to have to do some work. No one else is going to have to do the work for you. You're not expecting your partner to bring in the money for you. You're not expecting your parents to pay for you or leave you some money. The best way for money to come in for you is through your business. Once it's set up, once you're open to receive, the best way for money to come in so the dragons can help you is to set up your business so that it is open to receive. You've got the packages, you've got the products, you've got the route for it to come in for your betterment. How are you going to transform yourself, and how are you going to transform other people? Often people say, yeah, I've got a business. Well, show me where your products are. Show me where your courses are. Show me how you're collecting money. Show me what you're doing with it and how you're respecting it when it comes in. And they're like, yeah, well, I just need more money. But it hasn't got a way to come in. So it comes in the easiest way possible. So it may come in a refund, or it may come in with a gift from someone, or it may come in with somebody buying some books, or it may come in piddly little amounts, but it's not coming to you in its full force because you haven't given it somewhere to land. Hopefully that makes sense. So it's you that's going to have to do the work, but you're going to have to do the work on the inside as well as setting things up in your business on the outside, and that's what I help people with in Manifest with the Dragons. So changing your frequency to feel safe, to feel opulent, to feel luxurious, to feel lucrative, to feel profitable, to feel, let's just use your word there, Kellen, freedom. So that may mean that you are paying all your bills, or it may mean that you've got enough to go on a holiday. It may mean that you've got a steady stream coming in. So this is one of the things that we do. Telling a new inside story that feels good to you. The whole point, it has to feel good. Your business has to feel good. Your relationship has to feel good. Whatever story you're telling that's going to raise your frequency. And you step into that raised frequency by telling this story. What story can you tell? Delusional, of what's going to happen, how you're going to run your business, what kind of people you're going to serve, who are they, what are you going to do with them, what kind of conversations you're going to have, changes your frequency. So this is the work that you're doing that will help you to change the frequency that you're in. So this is so simple, but it's very rarely done. It's your inside story, and what makes you feel good, makes you feel safe and aligned to what you tell. It alters the very air around you, I guarantee it, as you tell the story. The frequency within you and outside of you changes when you change and tell a different story. So what do you want that makes you feel safe, feel good, feel successful, you're having fun, you're enjoying everything that life has to offer? So there's a way of doing this with your perfect day, and anyone who's done any of the courses with me so far will know this, but maybe sometimes we haven't done it recently. So your perfect day, you can tell yourself, and this is where practical magic starts happening. In other words, the air around you changes. So you write out your perfect day to bring you the guidance of how you get that delivered to you. So I kid you not that I was guided in so many different ways. I was guided how to sell a house that I had to sell because of a split up years ago. And I was talking to the house, and I was like, okay, now I feel safe to move. I realised it hadn't sold because I didn't feel safe to move. I didn't know where I was going or what I was doing or how it's going to work out. But it's like, I'm ready to move. I feel safe to move. I'm looking for the people who move into your house that you just absolutely love having around the place. But I need to know what you need. I need to know how to sell you. Please show me how. First of all, the house showed me the stairs, and I was like, yeah, I need to take the carpet off and sand and paint those stairs. Do that. I need to change the shutters. Okay, you're right. You need to be left as pretty as I found you, so we'll paint the shutters. And I kept asking, so what do you need now? And then when I was outside sweeping the yard one day, I got this image of this white sign with in stencil black letters, just AV, which is à vendre in French, and the numbers on my mobile telephone. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with that? And it was just showed me on a post outside the front gate. And I argued and I said, nobody drives up this road. Sorry, this is not going to work. And I just kept being shown the same picture, like, do it. I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I spent the afternoon painting a piece of wood, finding some stencils, writing on those in black, nailed it girly style to a post, put it outside. I've even got a picture of it. Gosh, this must be about 15 years ago. Anyway, I was feeling safe to sell the house. I was feeling safe to move on. Though for 2 years it hadn't sold with agents and all the rest of it. So I decided. Within 3 days of being guided how to sell the house, somebody came and bought it that afternoon, paid exactly what I wanted it to be paid, exactly the money. So you will be guided once you start telling a different story. I'm moving out of this house, it feels really good, I'm moving into a new house, I'm feeling safe to leave this house, oh, it's so pretty now. So tell your perfect story about your business, about how you want things to be. So you really need to know what it is that you want, what makes you feel good. So it doesn't matter what your story is, it has to make you feel good. You have to be in a good frequency. So let me know if that works for you, if you've ever tried that, and if you're willing to try that now, give me a number 2. I'm willing to try that now, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we are now going to move on to the second thing that the dragons tell me that works really, really well. Change your state. Changing your frequency, changing your state means that, thank you, Andrea, you can imagine in front of you. Now imagine in front of you, there's a circle, there's a pool of light, or it's a portal, or it's a doorway. And on the other side of that doorway, is everything is working out really, really well for you. You're in the state, you're in the frequency, you're receiving it. Everything's working out well. You're open to receive. You're receiving the money, you're receiving the clients, you're receiving the lifestyle, you're receiving everything that you can possibly tell in your inside story is on the other side of that portal. You just step into that portal and you're like, I'm in the state. Now, some people use something like an anchor. I did this before I went bungee jumping. I'm like, I can fly. I know I can fly. I feel safe to fly. So, you might have a handhold or something that anchors that in. So in this portal, in this pool of light on the other side of the doorway, however you see it and imagine it, you need to step into that to be in your 10 out of 10 energy. Be in that 10 out of 10 energy. Feel it inside your body. Recognize what it feels like. Recognize what the frequency is. Stay in it, swim in it, absorb it for a little while, and then step out. Come back to you. Be aware where you are in your current state on your scale of 1 to 10. So on your scale of 1 to 10, are you feeling, in your frequency state that is, are you feeling maybe a 3? So your 10 out of 10 is your full potential. But where are you today? When you step out of that, where are you today? Are you a 3 or a 4 or a 5? Compared to the frequency of your 10 out of 10. So step back in again into that energy and feel it and kind of go, this is my 10 out of 10 energy. I feel amazing. I've got my handhold. I know exactly how I feel in my body. This is the difference that I have to make up in my frequency so that I can match my 10 out of 10 frequency state. That is the second exercise that the dragons want to share with you today. The third one is fun. So the dragons can increase your money flow. Yes, they can. Have you ever asked them to? So call in the dragons and help to alter your frequency. You have decided to change your frequency and that state of being in your money flow. So you can actually start to say things like, I have decided to change my frequency and state of being so that the money flows to me. I'm given the opportunities. Flow comes into my business. It's the easiest route to receive money for me. I'm open to receive. I've opened my channels. I've opened the doors, and it feels super, super good. I decide to manifest and flow money with ease. I enjoy spending the money I receive to invest in myself and in my business. I keep growing with my money, and it grows with ease. I call in the dragons to assist with how the flow will happen and to guide me so that I notice the ease that money is coming through the frequency and I am sustaining that frequency. I've broken the spell. I've broken the cycle of living in survival state. I radiate my frequency with pride. I feel safe to shine. I have changed my frequency to prosperous, to lucrative, and I am open to all the many opportunities that this huge amount of money will bring me to complete my mission. I appreciate the money in the frequency state, that you know how to do this, and you will show me how. Please, dragons, show me how. I believe I am always sent the right people, the right opportunities to help me manage my funds and for it to be easy and joyful. Dragon spirit guides, please help and support me to show me all of the frequencies that money can arrive from. I am open to receiving this frequency, and so it is. I know the frequency that feels good to me, and I will follow my guided life. I know what feels right and what feels wrong, and I am following my own powerful, powerful guidance. So that was step 3. The dragons are able to guide you to where the money is. Now, there is a longer version of this rampage, of this incantation, of how to allow the dragons to call in for you the money. So if that's something that interests you, let me know and give me your email, and I can drop that into your email for you. So the dragons are here to help you break the spell. They see that humans are struggling, particularly with money and feeling safe, and they really want the message to get out there into the mainstream that it is your state, it is the frequency of your feeling that needs to be altered, and you need to do the inner work. You need to be able to do the work that goes on the inside that allows your outside world to resonate and for you to be guided to all of that. So you can start by listening to these classes. You can certainly start by coming along and taking part in some of the intensive work that's done in Manifest with the Dragons, which is for 12 weeks. The other way you can do this is actually come on the 12-month course, which is the Dragon Portal. And this is where you are actually experimenting with your frequency. You're telling your inside story every single week. We meet up and we are mentored by the dragons. You will, of course, always be getting a reading from the dragons into your world and into your business to find out what your truest potential is and what you're here for. What is your mission that you're here to complete? So that we can blast through those frequencies and open you up so that you can receive the guidance that is more and more available for you. I am Fiona Robertson. I am a master channel for the dragons to help you change your frequency. Okay, I'm seeing who wants to get a copy of the longer incantation, so that will be organized, recorded and done for you. Oh, hi there, Nadia. Thank you very much. Gratitude to the dragons. Oh, I know. They are absolutely amazing. If you knew how much the dragons loved you and respected you, in particular when you have a mission and when you have something to bring into the world, they are right behind you. They are your backbone. They are right next to you. And they want to help you, but you need to do the work to call them in and to call in the frequency that you can communicate that to the world and communicate to them. If you have any questions for me, if you want to know anything from me, tell me about your business, tell me where you're stuck, and have the dragons read into that for you, then let me know. And in the meantime, I'm going to be getting these dragon cards onto Amazon, and I'm going to be getting guidance as to how to do that. I'm also going to be getting guidance as to how to make merchandise for the dragons, for these manifesting dragons, so that Bloom, Sovereign, Lunar Ray, all of them, Raphael, they all have their messages coming out, and they're kind of like humoristic. They're giving me the messages right now that are very kind of humoristic, so that humans are absolutely able to understand in the mainstream what dragons are really here to help you with. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for listening. If you're on replay, let me know exactly what you got out of this. What else do you need help with from the dragons? What else do you need help with changing your frequency out of feeling unsafe? And yes, have a great week, and let me know what it is that you are looking for help with the dragons.